It's the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast coming to you from the where are we today?
I always wonder where
It's
we're gonna be.
it's the Illegal Shift Studio.
No, you can call it.
I was pausing for dramatic
No,
effect.
your brain. I heard the wheels squeaking in your head.
What? I got it.
We'll call it the
One
one.
More and I'm Outta Here
You said it was the One More and I'm out of here.
We're going to call it the One More and I'm Out of Here Studios from here on out.
When did that happen?
last show.
I didn't get the memo on it.
No, well, you
All
didn't get the memo
I don't get the memo on a lot of stuff.
to change the name of the studio anyway.
He goes all the time.
Pappas, let me ask you a question.
Oh God, no, I don't know her.
Where is it written? Where is it written that if you are a Democrat or a hardcore leftist, that you have to be either a retard or B, an imbecile?
Ooh, the word. Not supposed.
I don't care anymore.
I know.
I mean, do you see what's happening? We look.
We're
How many times do we talk about Los Angeles when they have the fires out there,
Yep.
and the irresponsibility, the gross irresponsibility
Yep.
of the mayor Karen Bass,
Yep.
and now the statement that she issued a couple of days ago has led to the situation that we're seeing in Los Angeles right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got even Los Angeles police. I saw Hakeem Jeffries talking about, well, these demonstrations have been peaceful.
Yeah, right.
And then the Los Angeles Police Department puts out a statement saying these demonstrations have been peaceful.
Yeah.
Jason, can you roll the video that just got put on the internet? I mean, literally less than 5 minutes ago.
8 minutes ago.
And let's see how peaceful things are. This is about as close as you can get to live video about what's happening in Los Angeles, California, right there. Now, anyone who's a clever observer will note that these are police vehicles. And what do you see right there?
Marshmallows.
Police vehicles on fire.
S'mores. Where's the s'mores?
And this isn't the only car that's been set on fire. I mean, look at the number 504.
Look
that one's got the hood up. That car's been ransacked.
ACAB.
Fuckice.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what is happening. What the hell are these police officers doing?
So yes,
abandoning their vehicles in the middle of the street.
Well, they were
probably running for their fucking lives. They're running for their fucking
lives.
They
were surrounded. You saw the videos of them throwing stones at the cars.
It looked like freaking Beirut.
Yeah,
you got guys hiding behind the dumpster. They've got barricades in the middle of the street. Then you've got dudes with rags over their heads, and they're hurling rocks at police.
Well, they don't want to get COVID. You got to be safe.
Oh, for God's sake.
You got to be safe.
You got to keep that 6 feet.
Dr. Fauci told you.
Yeah.
Here's the statement
Sometimes 2 masks.
Here's a statement from the mayor of Los Angeles. This morning, we received reports of federal immigration enforcement actions in multiple locations in Los Angeles. As mayor of a proud city of immigrants who contribute to our city in so many ways, I am deeply angered by what has taken place. These tactics sow terror in our communities and disrupt basic principles of safety in our city. Really?
Yeah. She's a deep thinker.
My office is in close coordination with immigration rights community organizers. We will not stand.
No,
for
what will she not stand for? The violence and the
well, she won't stand for
mayhem, or she won't
stand for criminal illegals being moved out of her city. That is what. Here's just a few highlights of some of the people that were rounded up in the most recent enforcement action by ICE agents. We've got Rolando Venarcion Enriquez, 55, from the Philippines, has a criminal history, Andrew, that includes burglary in Ontario, California, for which he was sentenced to 4 years in prison, sexual penetration with a foreign object with force and assault with intent to commit rape.
What kind
in Pomona?
Did they did they say what the foreign object was?
Doesn't say here.
No.
Well, of course,
doesn't matter.
I have to ask.
Doesn't really matter.
Was it a hammer? And was he in San Francisco near Nancy Pelosi's husband?
He was sentenced to 37
Was it
years
a love hammer?
in prison for that. And the mayor of Los Angeles is upset that this scumbag is being moved. How about Jose Gregorio Mirandes Ortiz, 42, from Ecuador?
The fourth.
He was arrested and served administration deportation. His criminal history includes being sentenced to more than 11 years in prison for conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine. 5 kilos of cocaine. I used to watch Miami Vice.
Yes.
5 kilos is a lot. This guy's so we've got first a sexual deviant, criminal. Now we got a drug dealer. Now we have Armando Ordaz, 44 of Mexico. His alleged activity, he's a gang member of Branch 13 is the name of the gang. Criminal history that includes sexual battery in Los Angeles. That he had a 135-day sentence, 5 years probation. Also sentenced to 90 days in jail. So here's another sexual offender. How about Victor Mendoza Arguello, 32 of Mexico, has a criminal history in Pasadena that includes being sentenced to jail for possessing unlawful paraphernalia, sentenced to 16 months for possessing controlled substances, being sentenced to 4 years for assault with a deadly weapon.
Was it a hammer?
It could be.
Okay.
So what do we have so far? Sexual deviants, perverts,
yes,
guys penetrating victims with foreign objects.
Yeah.
We've got drug dealers. We've got this guy who likes to go around beating people up. We've got, how about Delfino Arguello Martinez of Mexico, 51. He was served notice to appear. He was arrested on Friday. Criminal history includes assault with a deadly weapon with great bodily injury in Los Angeles. And that is, these are just some of them.
Just some of them. But
just some.
These are dads. I mean, Father's Day weekend
these are criminal scumbags.
These are just dads, and why
on their way to soccer practice with their kids,
right? And why are you trying to tear families apart? It's Father's Day weekend coming up.
Lionel Sanchez Laguna, 55 of Mexico, sentenced to 365 days in jail for discharging a firearm at an inhabited dwelling and a vehicle. Yeah, so this is a guy who does. So now we've got a guy who does drive-by shooting.
That was Cinco de Mayo.
These are the kind of people that Mayor Bass wants to keep in Los Angeles, and she's encouraging these mostly peaceful demonstrations.
Yes,
because she doesn't want these people moved out.
No, she's
her fine city.
And guess where the Olympics is supposed to be in a few short years?
No shit.
I mean, if I was the Olympic committee, I'd be like, I don't think so. I mean, how much? And here's the deal. How many federal dollars are going to have to pour into LA for infrastructure for the Olympics?
It's going to be
and you have the mayor and you have the mayor there saying,
she's an idiot.
We're not having this.
She is an idiot's idiot.
And Trump has the purse strings for the federal dollars. I mean, I think the Olympics. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn here.
Gavin Newsom's not much better.
No, he's not. And
here's what he said: continued chaotic federal sweeps across California to meet an arbitrary arrest quota are reckless and cruel.
Is that like a ticket quota?
So let's get this straight now.
No such thing, by the way.
Getting sexual offenders, getting people who commit felonious assault, drug dealers, people who fire indiscriminately into homes and cars.
Yes.
Removing them, according to Gavin Newsom,
arbitrary
is reckless and cruel.
Yes,
you're not supposed
Trump's
to do that.
chaos is eroding trust, tearing families apart.
Yeah, but can we show? I mean, I want to see
undermining the workers and industries that power
just
America's
doing the
economy.
jobs that American workers don't want to do.
Are you kidding me?
I'm just saying.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to.
So
shoot.
now
we've got to shoot. You're not allowed to shoot guns into a house.
Over the last 2 days, I've
weird?
seen video of guys standing on the street throwing rocks at federal vehicles.
Large rocks, yes.
You've got I've seen buildings that are set on fire, cars that are set on fire. We just saw the video of the police cars that were ransacked and set on fire. Buildings that were tagged with "fuck ICE." So these are the peaceful demonstrations,
mostly peaceful,
according to Hakeem Jeffries, that are going on in Los Angeles.
Well, this is the same shit the same shit sandwich that they're trying to serve you that you fell for last time in Minneapolis when they said that these are mostly peaceful protests, and the guy standing there is the building going up in flames behind him. So hey, I mean, if you're going to believe this, and sadly, a lot of people that are, what was the word you used? Imbecilic.
I think I said retarded and an imbecile.
Yeah, so only an imbecile. Only an imbecile would fall for this. But there's a lot of imbeciles out there. Some of them like to type comments on our feed. But I find it. I don't know. I'm just at a loss. I mean, if this is where we want to go and California wants to go down this road, I'd pull if I was Trump, I'd be like, look, we're not giving you any federal support for the Olympics. Do it on your own. You're going to fight us every step of the way. You're going to become this thorn in our side. You're threatening ICE agents. Don't forget, there's a council member out there in LA that's actually stoking this violence.
I actually saw the video of her saying that,
yeah.
but her accent is so thick you can't understand a word she says in English, so I decided not to play that.
And I'm just like, you know what? I don't want. I mean, it feels
you can't understand. It would be a waste of time.
This is just and this is, let's be fair. Let's call it what it is. This is the Democrat base. These people are part of the Democrat base. These people did not vote for Trump. Okay, the ones that did vote, they did not vote for Trump. They are being stoked and provoked by Democrat elected officials and some Congress people, members. And you know what? This lands at the feet of the Democrats, because you cannot, when you have a mob as part of your base, sometimes they get out of hand. It seems like we're going to have a summer. This is going to be the summer of love again. And I hope folks.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, these things are going to spread to other cities now.
They are.
When you've got the governor, when you've got the mayor, when you've got, I cannot believe, I don't know anything about the police department out there in Los Angeles, but when the police department is putting out a statement saying, well, these demonstrations have been peaceful.
Yeah.
You've got, at least we saw video of a police car burning on fire. The other ones
in daytime
have been ransacked.
It's worse at night.
Totally destroyed.
Yeah.
And this moron police chief is good with that. Here's what Trump said, put out this post just a short time ago. A once great American city, Los Angeles, has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. Now violent insurrectionist mobs are swarming and attacking federal agents to try and stop our deportation operations. But these lawless riots only strengthen our resolve. I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, in coordination with all other relevant departments and agencies, to take all such action necessary to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion and put an end to these migrant riots. Order will be restored, illegals will be expelled, and Los Angeles will be set free. Thank you for your attention.
Here's
to this
breaking news. Breaking news on our show. This is the difference between this administration and the last administration. The FBI has just released a flyer. 4 people's photographs are on it, with a $50,000 reward for helping identify these 4 people that were throwing things at the police officers, and causing violence with their now he's safe because he's got a mask on. I mean, that guy is not going to get COVID.
He is not going to get COVID.
And this guy has a motorcycle helmet on. He's not getting COVID either. But so this is the difference. This is not going to be tolerated by this administration.
No.
And the biggest stick that he has, yes, he can crack down on all the demonstrators, everything else, but the only thing that's going to get the attention of the elected officials out there, including the moron governor, who is a certified moron with great hair, is holding their funds. And I say, put the Olympics at risk. Look, I got to be honest with you. I mean, do you guys are you big Olympic fans? I mean, do you watch it nonstop?
Absolutely not.
There are some events that I like in the Olympics. The thing as a whole, I could really do without it. But there's some events that I'm partial to.
I'm a huge curling fan.
I do love curling. In the Winter Olympics,
I love curling. I actually want to try to.
We should
curling.
We should have our own curling team.
Have you ever tried it?
I'm in.
Dude, I used to play hockey. Curling's easy.
It's not as easy as it looks.
I used to
play hockey. I'm at home on the ice. In the ice at 1.
But
so my point is that, look, what I would say is yank the federal money away from them and just say, you know what? If you're not going to clean this up, you, by your inactions of enforcing the law and maintaining the peace and encouraging this mayhem, are putting the Olympics at risk. And just I'm sure another country would love to have the Summer Olympics, and someone's gonna say, "Oh, that's such a stupid." Do you know the economic boon?
Well, what Trump should do right now is say,
Maxine Waters, they're in LA.
Trump should say right now, look, hey, you guys want the Olympics? You raise some private money. Don't come looking to us.
Oh, please.
Don't come looking to us for federal money
Please.
so you can have your Olympic Games. I'm out. This is the way you're going to treat my federal agents. I'm out.
That's right.
I'm not. And then Gavin Newsom plays the card today. He says, well, here in California, we send $38 billion to the government every year.
And how much do you get back?
And we don't get hardly any of that back.
Really?
We get a lot less. We get a lot less of that back. And so, maybe we'll stop sending taxes into the federal government.
I don't know what matrix he's looking at, but I can guarantee you that's not accurate. And the other thing people need to understand, the Olympics are in like 2 years, 2028. They're building stuff right now. Things don't get built very quickly. So if you stop that money flowing now, today,
you're fucked.
You're never going to catch that. You're never going to catch up and build something, if they have to build a village. I don't know what they have to build, but I mean, I don't really give a shit. And, I'll say this, the left, we've talked about it before. The left is ruled by emotions. They cannot maintain their emotions. That's why we're seeing, these protests. They're organized. These protests are organized. There are pallets of bricks delivered that I've seen.
I've seen video of that too.
That the pallets of bricks are being delivered in LA along certain areas so that people will have things to throw.
Which they were doing that before. They were doing that in Baltimore.
I understand, but the point here is this is an organized. This isn't a organic demonstration. This is an organized uprising, an organized violent demonstration, and it should not be tolerated. These people should be prosecuted, and who's funding them should be prosecuted as well. And I'm sure they are. I have utmost confidence in not only the president, but the people he put in place to make sure they look at that as well. Because, did you see a union, a local union member got arrested, a leader got arrested. He was organizing the protests. I went to the website, I looked at his union. What's front and center on their website? The communist fist. The fist of solidarity.
What union?
Oh, I don't remember. I mean, I can look it up.
It was
a local union. It wasn't like the firemen's union. It was some workers' union. And he was arrested violently. I mean, he was resisting arrest, so they had to get rough with him. And he was taken to the hospital. So I'm just saying, Trump, he can federalize there's the one right there. He can federalize the National Guard, which he's done. And he can do other things with the military. But if you really want to hurt a liberal and you want to hurt the state of California, yank their money away from them and they will wake up real quick.
I agree.
That's my point.
So getting to what our thumbnail was, I want your guys' opinion on the whole.
Well, you didn't use the right thumbnail.
The whole dust up. Yeah. I have your thumbnail that you wanted. You're
gonna put it up?
Trust me, I'm gonna show it.
It's the greatest thumbnail.
Trust me. But I want your guys' opinion on the whole Elon and Trump dust up, to where, and Dan and I talked about it briefly yesterday.
While playing golf?
While we were,
playing indoor golf.
Do not mix business and pleasure, gentlemen. That's very deadly.
At Garage Golf.
Yes.
So our good buddy Blake.
Like, what is the irony? What is the irony in the fact that, like, right after, and again, it's been a week since we've podcasted, so we've had a lot of shit to cover, but
world's spinning fast.
What's the irony in the fact that Elon is done, which everybody knew he was going to be done? Like, he had a set amount of days. He leaves the White House and he's done. He's done with Doge and whatever. And then sends the tweets, starts putting the tweets out. Like, what is your guys' opinion? Because I want to hear yours. I'll give you mine, but I want to hear your guys' shit, because it's very strange to me.
Well, I think there are a lot of people that looked at this and said you could probably predict that it was not going to end all that well, the bromance between Trump and Elon Musk. I think long term, I think they're going to settle their differences. But I think when I look at Elon Musk, I see a guy who got an up close and personal look at what was happening in our government. And he exposed a lot that was not right. He exposed a lot of grift, a lot of corruption. And I think in the world that he lives in, and the world that he the rules that he has to abide by. That way, if you do the kind of things that he exposed and the kind of things that he found, there's a price to be paid for that. And that price is accountability. That price is, being brought up on criminal charges. That price is, losing your freedom, doing some jail time. And I think he got frustrated with the fact that he can expose all this, but in the long run, nothing's going to happen to any of these people that were the ones who perpetrated these things. So I think he got very frustrated with that. And I also think there's something to what Trump said is that, when you leave the White House, that, being in proximity to that power, when you leave and you leave all the accoutrement that comes with that, I think that can have an effect on people. So I think Elon Musk got on tilt a little bit, especially with some of the tweets that he put out about Trump. And I just think Elon is dealing with a lot of frustration right now because he uncovered and exposed a lot of serious shit. He did it when he went into Twitter, and look how influential and look how serious the Twitter files were when he exposed all the First Amendment stuff and the way the Biden administration and the Obama administration were trampling on the rights of the First Amendment rights of the American people.
Did you say accoutrement?
Yeah.
Accoutrement. Where'd you pull that one out of?
Well, it's a word. Look it up.
You have like an app open on your.
Look it up.
I'm just saying.
On your iPad. I think you're just using words you're finding on your iPad.
I'm not. I have an iPad.
My app.
That's
close
a
enough.
laptop
Same
computer.
thing. Here's the deal.
Here, hold on. Sitzy says he exposed none of that. You live in a fantasy land, nothing proven, no fraud charges, no proven corruption, no bullshit rhetoric. You bought a bag of bullshit.
Okay, all right. Well, Cincy 513, what you're saying right there is no proven. That's the next step. He exposed all the evidence of all the money. My God, are you happy with $2 billion going to Stacey Abrams?
Right.
Because she put a couple of high efficiency stoves and a high efficiency washer and dryer. I'm
gonna make something up of like the hymen replacements of fucking Guatemalan fucking dudes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're happy with all that kind of shit.
Here's the deal. You asked my take or our take, and Dan's right.
But it's more than that. It's the grift of the NGOs and all the money. And guess what? All that money filters down, and they're all friends. They're all connected to the Democrats who are in charge.
Right. And that's why they went nuts. And I will say this. I think that, first of all, Trump is right.
See, what he did right there was send me back, kind of circle back to what we talked about the first thing.
That's right.
Being an imbecile or a retard.
Well, I mean, I don't know which one he is, but
that is so perfect.
That's kind of where that fits in.
So here's the deal. Usually I'm being harsh on him.
You nailed it.
Here's the deal.
I'm not in a good mood today, in case you guys haven't noticed.
So Trump's right in the fact that politically, here's the skinny. They're both right. And you're going to say, how can they both be right?
Well,
first of all,
two things can be true at the same time.
They should not be. First of all, I'm kind of upset. I mean, that's mildly. They should not be having this fight, one with Twitter, the other with Truth Social. You know what? It should not be happening like that. And that part bugs me for both of them. However, Musk is frustrated. He's found a lot of waste. I mean, monumental amount of waste, corruption, fraud. Mm-hmm. And Congress doesn't care. Okay, Congress just doesn't give a shit. That's the truth. And you know why Congress doesn't give a shit? Because if we did the things that need to be done, that Musk knows what needs to be done now that he's seen the books, they're never going to get elected again. So they're never going to do the things that need to be done. Correct. And Trump understands that as well because he's an elected official. He's in politics, although he is a businessman. This bill is not perfect. This bill is full of disgusting things. It's full of waste. It doesn't even go back to the pre-COVID levels that we discussed on. So
it should make you feel happy, Sitzy, is we don't completely agree with the big beautiful bill,
right? So this is not a big beautiful. There's some great first steps in it. There's a lot more in it that needs to be done, but they will never get that passed because Nobody wants to fix the debt problem in this country. Nobody in DC wants to fix it. And if they did want to fix it or they tried to fix it, the bill would not get passed and they would not get reelected because the people, you know who's at fault here? You are. Every one of you are. And I mean, we are.
Yeah.
Every one of us is, because you don't want to vote.
I didn't vote for Greg Landsman. I
You,
can tell you that.
I heard he's doing stock tips. You don't want to vote. And this is a proverbial we're at fault because you don't want to vote for the people that are going to do what needs to be done because there's going to be pain involved. And the thing, what was that old commercial? You can pay me now or you can pay me later.
But I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to inject one thought.
But he's gonna.
When you talk about the big beautiful bill, the initial criticism that I saw from Elon Musk of the big beautiful bill, my thought is that it was aimed more at people who created the bill, the people who, as it made its way through Congress and what it morphed into. I thought his anger was directed more at the people who created it, not at Trump specifically. But of course, the bill's got Trump's name on it.
Right.
But I thought his anger was directed more at the people who created that bill and not Trump.
I think so too.
And then I think things got off the rails.
And then things got off the rails, and Trump said some things, and he said some things, and blah 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 blah. But look, it's not a good look. I don't like it. Do I think they're going to patch things up? Yeah, I think eventually. I think that in a short order they'll kind of get along. But I'm just here to tell you that Dan's reading comment. He's deciding what he wants to say. I'm here to tell you it's our fault. And so you ask, what do I think about it? I think it's childish that this came out the way it came out and they had to fight the way they did. Do I think it's natural? Yeah, because anybody that wants to fix the problem, like Musk, I think Musk genuinely wants to fix government. That's what he does. He buys companies. He fixes things. He's a fixer. He's fixed the rocket or the space program. Look at
what he did when he went to Twitter.
Right.
How many people got shit canned?
And Twitter's still
doing
doing fine.
He walked in there and he started asking people, "What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do all day?"
Yeah.
And guess what? He did that in the government too. Remember when he did?
That's right.
He said, "Send me a report on what you do all day."
So the other thing,
people started freaking out in the private sector. You can't do that.
I think Trump saying stuff like, "Well, maybe we should review, our SpaceX." Dude, SpaceX is a national treasure. Okay, Musk is a national treasure. We should not let this get out of hand. Let's stay focused. Take a step back. You guys want to just yell at each other? Do it privately behind closed doors. But this getting rid of, maybe we should deport. I've heard someone say, we should, Musk has overstayed his whatever. I mean, give me a fucking break.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb. They're having a fight. Just get over it. And you know what? That's why I say they're both right, because Donald Trump understands to get the bill passed in Congress, there's got to be stuff in it so the other slobs in Congress will actually support it and vote for it, which it only passed by one vote in Congress? Yeah. So, I mean, that's how stuff gets done in D.C. And until we change that culture and until we elect people, that guy's telling the cops they're number one right there. Until we elect the people that are going to change the culture, we, the people, are to blame for the big, beautiful bill and all the people that put the stuff in the bill to get it passed. That's it. End of story. And it frustrates Musk. It frustrates you. It frustrates me. Frustrates Jason. And it should frustrate every one of you because we're not going to fix this.
So what I find, like my opinion on it, I find it very ironic and weird.
Kiefer is not a national treasure.
Yes.
Sorry, that is not true.
I am totally a national treasure.
That's not. You are not a national.
I am a national. Well, no. David J said I was.
Okay, but that doesn't.
So it is said. So it shall be done. But what fucks me up with this is he was in the White House the day before. He's doing his swan song.
Yeah, they're
done.
They're making out,
and
then they broke up.
Everything seemed great, and then the next day, boom. I just find it very ironic that how you just immediately just blow up like your bestie. Like,
yeah,
if I'm gonna sit here and talk to Dan today. And if Dan didn't necessarily do anything to me, and I already knew like the inner workings of what Dan did this weekend.
Are you going to roast him tomorrow?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Like I don't understand that.
Well, let's be fair.
I think it's a fucking bait and switch. I think it's a
you
fucking
think-
bait and switch.
Now, listen, I don't think it's that. I mean, I
I
respect
totally
your
think
opinion.
it
I
is.
respect your opinion, but you're saying they're doing this on purpose, and this is they're playing 3D chess type.
Well,
thing. I don't think that's it.
Here we are talking about it. A small level podcast. There
Small?
are
Hey,
fucking
hey,
huge,
I beg your pardon.
Excuse me.
there are huge podcasts fucking
I'm
talking
offended.
about it.
Are you offended?
But guess what?
Slightly, yeah.
Slightly offended.
But guess
Maybe we
what?
should just
There's nothing
walk out.
small in this room.
Everybody is talking about it.
I know.
So guess what? Then it gets the fucking libs, the fucking idiots. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I like to call them retards. And,
Our retards. We'll call them retards.
I don't.
Elon and Trump are not getting along. Oh my god! It's so bad. It's so
like
bad.
a huge thing.
You mean they'll drive
Chicken
Tes-
Little? The
It
sky is falling.
So are conservatives now going to go out and burn Teslas?
That's shit. Oh, you beat me to it.
That I saw that. I saw that.
You beat me
posted.
to it because I had it right
And
here.
now are
Yeah.
liberals going to now start driving Teslas
You
again? Are they
son
all
of
going to
a
go, bitch, you rat?
I saw. I have a sneaking suspicion that that's not going to happen. That Trump supporters are not going to go out and start burning Teslas.
Well, are liberals now
because-
going to go rebuy the Tesla that they sold last week? Are they going to go buy it back? 'Cause
That's
now
the
it's
funny
low?
thing. I have not seen. I have not seen a lot of
How
these.
soon before MAGA starts burning Teslas?
It's not
I've
gonna
not
happen.
seen a lot of these libtards run to open, welcome Musk back with open arms.
No,
because
because
he said some bad things about
well,
Trump.
they said they've been calling Musk a Nazi for over a year because of his arm gesture at an event
Oh,
where
for
where
God's
where
sake.
Democrats have done the same thing and they're eerily silent on that.
And did you
Wow.
see Keith Olbermann's analysis of that?
I can't watch Keith Olbermann anymore.
What a
He
moron.
is full blown stupid. Keith Olbermann should have stuck with sports, and he was mildly entertaining at sports. After that, he lost his entertainment factor. But hey, listen, I'm not Jason. I hope you're right. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I hope it's a bait and switch. That would be like the best case scenario, that they did this and they come out laughing at the end saying, "Oh, look, we pulled one over." I don't think that's the
No,
case here.
I mean, I don't. I just that's the way it looks,
I know.
right? And
But
as
Musk
Dan
is a
said,
weird
The
dude.
retards like grab onto it.
Yeah,
like,
but-
oh
but
my god!
Factor this in. Musk is not a normal guy.
No,
Remember,
he
he's
definitely is
on
not.
the spectrum by his own admission. He's on the spectrum.
Excuse me.
Not saying anything derogatory about that, but he is.
Yeah.
He has odd social relationships with people. Okay. He's not a social butterfly.
How many baby mamas does he have?
That's what I was getting towards. I mean, he has multiple. His
mean,
social
Was it
construct.
14 kids with like
I don't know. A lot.
14 kids with
15 wives.
Yeah, I think it's double digit. I think it's like 10 or 11.
So I mean,
It's a lot. I mean, look,
you
but
say-
if I had his kind of money,
hey,
I might be doing the same
The
thing.
guy gets it in.
so that might.
I mean, the guy gets it in.
That might.
How do you get angry at that?
That might explain why the next day after he leaves, the White House, he thinks about it again. He gets pissed off and he comes out. But I agree with Dan. I don't think he was directing his comment towards Trump personally or directly. I think he was talking about the people in Congress that have destroyed this bill or changed it so much that he thought what he thought, and he's right. But Trump took it as an affront, and I was surprised. I got to say this: I was surprised Trump waited as long as he did to come barreling back at him.
But here's the other thing about Trump, and I know enough about Trump. I've read enough about him that he does not hold on to these things. In the moment,
He'll just move on.
in the moment, I mean, it's very fierce. He'll hit hard and all the rest of that. But in the end, he will mend fences with Elon Musk.
I hope so.
And their relationship will be, it may not be at the same level it was before, but they will have a working relationship where they're able to get along.
I hope
Look at what he said about Marco Rubio during the 2016 campaign. Look at what he said about Ron DeSantis this past election cycle. And now you've got people like Rubio, you got people like DeSantis, I could probably go through other people in his cabinet that he said things about, but he respects what these people are really able to do. And how good is Marco Rubio as Secretary of State?
surprisingly
The guy-
good, shockingly good,
Fantastic.
shockingly good.
So
And
Trump does, and
that gets another discussion.
if you heard when Bill Maher talk about when he went and had dinner with Trump, it was him and Kid Rock.
yeah,
And Bill Maher was so surprised. at Trump's personality, because Bill Maher he said, look, I've said a lot of bad things about you. And Trump was carrying on like, it's water off my back. It's Trump is concerned about with what's happening right now. What happened in the past is not going to matter. So I know Trump is going to be able to let this go. I don't know enough about Elon Musk's personality if he'll be able to in the future let this go and be able to come to a working relationship.
Time will tell.
But if it's up to Trump will let this stuff go, and he won't dwell on it, because he's always thinking about what's coming next. And even though this stuff, may have some importance to him now, in 6 months or a year from now, it won't.
Oh, well, time will tell, and I hope you're right. I think I am right. What's our next topic du jour there, Jason?
Despite what Cincinnati 513 says.
Well, again, who cares what he thinks or says?
I told him I was going to ban him, and they
you won't.
He was like, "Oh, you don't like."
He can call me unintelligent
discourse.
all he wants. I'll compete in the arena of ideas with him all day long,
and you do that every day.
So,
all right. So
you're not going to hurt my feelings.
All right. So I got this video of going through the whole Trump and deportation, everything else.
Get him out.
Well, let him go out. It's not your fucking job to fucking fix things. So watch this fucking video.
When we started seeing some sort of smoke to help try and keep those people from the gate here. Okay, so here we are. We're in the middle of the street here. You can see one person trying to stand right in front of this SUV here, but he's going to. It's just such a dangerous situation here, and it's really not going to do.
Guy's good at backpedaling, I must say.
He's possibly get ran over by agents. So
for now,
yeah.
Here they are. They're on 9th Street
It catches
now.
up with you eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
easy to catch
running
a shoelace.
alongside with these vehicles.
Rock.
Watch what's going to happen.
I know.
I pretty much guarantee it. This SUV is not.
Make
going
sure
to
you
stop.
get in front of the tire.
Throwing, looks like
Whoopsie.
Really wide out
He
here.
didn't even completely get ran over.
So now
he just went under the front, but those cars are so low.
Partly ran over by the
SUV.
And there goes.
So
it looks like
so with
the
that,
driver of that
a
car did the
bicycle
right
was
thing.
also struck in the crosswalk.
but so
here.
with that, so
You see
dangerous
people
situation.
closing
It
in
doesn't-
around you like that on the street, you got to get the hell out of there.
Stop. You do not.
You got to get the hell out of there, and that's what that driver did. So good.
And he
good
didn't
on that
run over
driver.
the guy. He just went under the air dam. I mean, he did
Well,
not run over him.
so
Would you have
apparently,
stopped. I mean, I don't know if I would have
Can-
stopped.
if you two fucking idiots, fucking Waldorf and Statler would shut the fuck up.
Would you have stopped?
The guy actually suffered a fucking brain injury.
Well, that
And-
was from
and
his head hitting.
He
the
is,
ground.
he is essentially brain dead. But guess what?
It's on him.
Fuck around, you find out.
Well, wait a second. He's essentially brain dead. How do you know that that wasn't a pre-existing condition?
Well, since he might be able.
That's
to
actually a good point.
It might have been.
It's
It's hard to be more brain dead.
He was demonstrating a lack of cranial activity during that.
Right.
But the backpedaling was good, though.
Hey, he had the moves.
He was good up until the end.
I
We're
think he was-
always good. We're always good up until the
I
end.
think he was moonwalking.
That fall seemed fine until
No,
the
he
fucking
smacked
sun
that-
stopped.
He
little
smacked that head
fatigue
hard.
sets in, and next thing you know, you get
But
run
no,
over by an SUV.
So you have. I mean, we've got our government. We have our government trying to, do the deportation stuff and get everybody out that doesn't need to be here.
And they're being criticized that they're not going fast enough by some people. Remember?
But then you have these assholes that are inhibiting these ICE agents
doing their job.
to do their job.
Right.
Let them do their fucking job. Shut your mouth. It's not your fucking problem. It's not your fucking problem.
You have the right to protest. You have the right
Sure.
to stand on the corner and hold your signs. You do not have the right to interfere with duly elected officials doing their business, and that's interfering with the law. And that's where the left, because of their lack of being able to control their emotions, that's where they cross the line.
We
See that countless times, whether you're trying to have a pancake at the local pancake house or you are.
It's amazing what triggers these people.
I know there's some things
they
get triggered
by
very
the easiest
easily.
thing.
But that last video completely rolls right into this one, which I mean, Ron DeSantis, I absolutely love him.
The guy's an absolute superstar, and I sent you this video because this is it's so classic Ron DeSantis, and
It's a little long, but
the way he deals with this this reporter, and I won't, you watch the reporter, you decide for yourself, but
douchebag.
But again, just classic Ron DeSantis here. I mean, this guy is really making a name for himself. And this is the reason why.
Where are you from?
I'm WSBA Channel 7.
Okay.
My name is Vanessa.
Great, thanks.
United States of America. So many people are being robbed in due process. This is wonderful, this dog and pony show, but there's American citizens who are being deported.
American citizens being deported.
They show their passports, they show their IDs, and a lot of the work being done is a little sloppy.
Well, first of all, I'll let ICE handle that accusation that you're making, that they're deporting American citizens who are showing birth certificates and all that. I don't believe that that's true, but I'll let them respond to that. But you seem to have no sympathy. You seem to have no sympathy for people that have been victimized by illegal aliens. What about people? You have someone driving drunk and kills American citizen.
Happens all the
people
time.
That have been deported previously and let in under Biden, who then commit sexual offenses or commit homicides. And then we have more victims as a result of the federal government's previous inattention and unwillingness to enforce the law. So there are a lot of people that have been harmed by illegal immigration. There have been people that have been harmed by Tren de Aragua gang members who should not be in this country in the first place. So let's just be clear. Who are you fighting for? We're fighting for the citizens of Florida. We want them to be able to live in a society that upholds the rule of law. We want them to be able to live in a state that is safe. And we have to take action on it. I'll let them address your accusation. But the notion that somehow this is America, therefore we're supposed to have an open border, we're not supposed to enforce immigration laws, we're supposed to just sit on our hands when Biden let in 7 or 8 million people illegally into the country? No, that is not responsible. That is not what our citizens elected us to do. So we're in this fight. I think a lot of these narratives that I hear, to me, just instinctively, I think they're fake narratives because I've seen it happen so many times. But I will let folks at ICE respond to your accusation.
So there you go. You can stop it right there. But I mean, Ron DeSantis just nailed it up one side and down the other. And you got a guy who can respond on his feet to a question like that, no notes, totally off the top of his head, and he is just killing that reporter with just one fact after another. And this ties in perfectly to the situation in Los Angeles, because he says, "Who are you supporting? And what about the American victims?" And I'm so tired of this narrative. And Cincy 513 is probably thinking this right now. Well, illegal aliens commit crimes at a lower rate than American citizens do. Well, you know what? That may be true.
What an imbecilic statement to make.
Sure, it is.
Was he an imbecile?
Well,
that's an imbecilic statement.
If you think that is some sort of talking point that's going to shut me down,
wait.
Well, then you're wrong about that.
They commit crimes less than what was the
at a lower rate.
First of all, how would you know how many crimes don't get reported? How would you know that?
Well,
that's not even. It's nothing you can even quantify.
It's a dubious statistic at best.
At best.
But
where is his source
even
for
if
that?
it's
NPR.
True,
you hear that on the local NPR.
Even if it's true that there are
garbage.
Still victims who are largely American citizens. I mean, families have been ruined. People have been killed.
Yeah,
all the
what
people
number is
get raped.
513. Let me ask you this: what number is acceptable to you?
Yeah,
if you're the one person victim of the crime that has had a family member murdered or raped, does that mean that you should be happy that, oh my God, statistically I won the lottery because they commit fewer crimes statistically? Yeah. What an imbecilic statement to make! I heard a report the other day that they estimate that from 20 to 50,000 known terrorists have come into this country and are plotting to do bad things here in the United States. And when is that acceptable? I mean, Dan just said that you said that, so I mean, I'm just asking you. So I mean, what
number
is it?
I'm saying he was probably thinking it, but that's the kind of argument that he would make. So
okay,
I projected that on the 5, but that is an argument
sounds like something
that libtards and leftists like to make.
Look,
and speaking of terrorists, we haven't even talked about the guy in Minnesota who goes out. I mean, you want to talk about a peaceful protest? That's what these people, these Jews in Minnesota were doing. They were marching peacefully, carrying signs.
That's right.
In support of what? Hostages being released.
That's right.
And this guy, who's he's a moron and an imbecile too. He wants to make Molotov cocktails,
lights them on fire.
You said Minnesota. You said Minnesota. I'm going to correct you. It's Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, Boulder, Colorado.
Wait,
you're right.
Jesus Christ! I was like, what the fuck are we talking about?
No, you're right. It's
hard.
Boulder.
It's hard to keep it straight. But one of the victims, God bless her, is a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah.
She survived Nazi Germany, but you know what she didn't survive? Joe Biden's open border policy, which allowed this type of person to come unvetted into our country. And I believe, didn't he overstay his visa?
Overstayed a tourist visa.
He was vetted, but
he overstayed his visa.
He overstayed as well.
Overstayed his visa. So no.
Get the fuck out, dude.
Look, you can get a visa.
So
almost anybody can get a visa because they're like, okay, you're only going to be
He's
here
in the
30
country
days,
illegally.
right? So technically he is illegally here. He's overstayed his visa, which a vast majority of illegal aliens people used to do. They before we had the open border and they walked in, but that was not prosecuted under the last administration. You know what's changed? It is being prosecuted under this administration. And I think the
people don't like it. And people do not like it.
No. Well, hold on. Let me correct you. Some people don't like it because they're trying to make it. These are potential voters that they want to curry favor with.
Yeah.
Because they've lost their traditional base because your African American community has seen that the Democrat promise is full of shit.
They're known as Kamala Harris constituents.
And your Mexican or Latino community has also seen that the Democrat promises are full of shit. So the Democrats, I mean, their approval rating is woefully low. But I will tell you this: Democrats are desperately trying to find their next base that they can rely on for generations to maintain their power, and that's what's going on here.
Well, the whole idea of bringing in all these illegals and getting them to the voting booth has been disrupted by Trump.
That's right.
Why do you think he's got all these injunctions against him?
All by
it's
judges.
It's not because of the numbers that he's been shipping out. It's because he's going to disrupt this whole notion. I mean, the people are not coming in. The borders are closed.
That's right.
The border's being closed.
I thought we were told we needed legislation to do that by the last administration.
No,
we sent us an immigration bill. That's right.
Well,
so it stopped overnight because we finally have an administration that's going to enforce the law and put the priorities straight, which is American citizens' safety first.
It's a lot easier to get the illegals out if you don't let them in.
And you've got the Dallas police chief on the screen right now.
Good for him.
Who said, pick another city. Don't come to Dallas.
Yeah.
You're not welcome.
Well, they'll probably go.
See you. Bye.
They'll be in Austin.
Yeah, they'll be in Austin.
Yeah, there's plenty of other places in Texas.
Absolutely.
Public safety. I'm tying to a local story here for a second. Just a brief segue. Public safety is the core function of government. Okay, that is when you are sitting in office. There's lots of. I think what's happened in Cincinnati is your elected officials have gotten distracted with all the shiny toy crap that you can do. We're going to do a streetcar, or we're going to do a stadium, or we're going to do another stadium, or we're going to do a hotel. And those are kind of cool because you get to, dress up nice and wear fancy clothes and rub elbows with some very rich and powerful and influential people. But your primary responsibility is public safety. And the reason I mention that is, and we haven't even really touched on it at all. I'm sure we'll touch on it in the next show, but we've had a horrible, horrible tragedy here in Cincinnati where a man was killed in his own house, okay, because of a lack of police patrolling a section of downtown Cincinnati. That's apparently what's coming out, according to his widower. And I got to tell you, I haven't heard, let me ask you guys, and if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, it's a bad story here in Cincinnati. Tragically, this guy was a veteran. He was a badass. He was in great physical shape, and some nut job broke into his house and stabbed him, and he bled out in front of his wife, which is a horrible tragedy. And I feel terrible for her.
Yes.
But have you heard the mayor say anything about this?
No,
I have not.
Not at all.
Have you heard the police chief say anything about this?
Not at all.
The silence from the leaders of our community has been deafening regarding this, because I salute his widower. She's not taking this shit laying down. She's channeling her grief into demanding action and accountability from our leaders that are elected in the city of Cincinnati, which are Democrats running the city of Cincinnati. So I salute people like that police chief in Dallas saying, you're not welcome here. We're not a sanctuary city. I wish we had people like that here. We do have people, Sheriff Jones up in.
But where do these people have their gym? In Over the Rhine.
Well, they do. Yeah. They have their gym in Over the Rhine,
and
they
were in the community. They're trying to make the life better for everyone around
employing them. People,
stuff like that.
Yeah,
and this criminal scumbag, who I haven't seen all the details on this guy yet, but we're probably going to come to find out he probably shouldn't have been on the streets to begin with. Right. Yeah,
and we just saw a video of him casually at 4:45 in the morning. Casually walking down the street with a knife that he probably will turn out to be the murder weapon. That was just released shortly ago. So my point is, if we had more police officers downtown on patrol, don't you think they might have noticed a guy walking down the street with a knife?
I would like to think that, yeah.
And say, hey, what are you doing with that knife? Are you cooking? Is there a cat nearby that you're trying to catch your cat? What are you doing? But my point is,
going to the knife sharpener store
at 4:45 in the morning. We need to hold our elected officials accountable, and that means on either party, any party. And what that means is the fundamental function of government. We have elections coming up here locally. The fundamental function of government is public safety. Yeah. Bells and whistles, great. If you want to dwell on that, that's a nice thing. That's after you get the public safety part down pat and you keep your people safe. That, I think, is the core function of government. That's what is when I was in office. And I think that's what we should demand of our elected officials that are not only in office, but running for office as well.
So that actually kind of rolls into the fact we do have a politician on this this dais.
The thing is, any other week, it is amazing how the news cycle is just kicking so much ass right now. But on any other week, this story about Karine Jean-Pierre would be a huge story. It was a huge story for about 24 hours. And then there's so much other shit that happened.
It got drowned.
Yeah, I mean, it just got put way on the back burner. And honestly, I don't think people are really all that interested in Karine Jean-Pierre anyway.
No. I still think because they call it Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
And the fact that all of a sudden she is now going to be an independent.
Yeah, she is so full of. Let me tell you something.
She is moving to
How about the courage?
Independent.
She is.
How about the bravery and the courage to step away?
She is so full of shit.
From the bosom of the Democratic Party.
That
she was honored and respected and held in high esteem.
I mean, she
was treated like shit in the White House. I'm telling you right now, there's no way this gal was. Do you think, Andrew, that she was in that inner circle that was close to Biden?
No.
When she came out to do those briefings every day, she was so dumbfounded.
She was told what she needed to what she needed to say.
There's no way she was spending quality time with Biden or his chief of staff or the inner circle.
No, you know who was running her show? You know who was pulling her strings?
She had no kind of grip on policy at all.
It's come out today, or I read it on, or it was from the other day. But you know who was her handler, who was giving her information, talking points, telling her what to say, and was her puppeteer? Was
Valerie Jarrett?
No, Jill Biden's chief of staff.
Yeah.
That was basically running
that fucking
that guy. So he was basically running the White House, and he was running her as well.
That's a fucking article I meant to grab it, but
it's all right.
I did not.
It's all right. That guy's a real piece of shit.
But it is so funny to me because we have covered Sideshow Bob, and played so many clips, but with the bullshit that's going on or went on. I pulled this little gem up.
Oh, here we go.
I pulled this little gem up.
The classics never go out of style.
They never do. They never do.
It's like Christmas.
You are correct, Dan. So this goes out to Cincy 513.
And mentally, do you think to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with him.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing
What a clown
and
this guy was.
detail-oriented.
Oh, man,
Absolute
I can
son of a
testify
dipshit.
because I've been working very closely with this president for the past 2 years. I've been knowing him for 30 years.
Testify.
And
Well,
I'm
in
telling
fact,
you, this
I've been
guy's
knowing
tough.
him.
He's smart.
No one's buying
He's
our
on his
book.
game.
Joe
I mean,
Biden
no
has
one is
vision,
buying
he
our
has
book.
knowledge, he has a strategic thinker.
The president
Is that where she said he should be on Mount
focused.
Rushmore?
He's detail oriented. He's always thinking about the
This
big picture.
never gets old. We should do this every
He
show.
is capable. He has an incredible record as president.
And I'm
513 is
often
probably
with
just
him on
dropping
foreign
acid right now,
trips.
trying to deal with
He's
this
at
shit.
the top of his game.
So he has a vision, he has knowledge, he has judgment, he has a strategic thinking.
God,
met with the president
we know
5
that
or 6
we're-
weeks ago, and he seemed fine to me.
I have complete confidence in the president. I have watched him expertly guide
Well, for God's
meetings
sake.
of staff and cabinet members. I could not have more confidence in the president.
That
I would
prick
just
was
tell
almost
you
on the
that,
Supreme
I
Court.
meet frequently
That's the
with the
part that
president.
annoys me.
This guy needs to be
And every
court-martialed.
single time I meet with him, he is just fine.
Took
But
him a
he
second.
is,
Just-
Took him a
again,
second.
He is just fine.
knowledgeable, wise.
Incredibly
Mascara. I thought he wore makeup.
You guys get the fucking point. What a fucking joke.
That's
What
Oh my
a joke.
God.
So Corinne Jean-Pierre.
Can I go back to what I said at the beginning of the
Hold
show?
on.
Yes, yes, you can circle back. Circle back.
Ignorance and retards?
No, imbeciles.
Imbeciles and retards. That's what it was.
Imbeciles.
But not one of these individuals had the cojones or the hanging down things or the chutzpah
Gonads.
to gonads to speak the truth about what was really going on.
No.
Not a
absolutely not.
one of them. And now they all want to run for cover. Well,
wait, no.
we were fooled by the Biden White House.
They're
Oh
trying-
my God.
No. They're trying to monetize their deception. Okay, let's be honest.
The ones who
here.
are writing books, yeah.
They're right. So they're trying to monetize.
When does Janet Yellen's book come out?
Oh, she's whatever.
What a
Nebraska,
moron she is.
Yeah.
What
You-
about Mayorkas? When's his
Oh,
book
You
gonna
got
come out?
you got
Hopefully
Tapper's
it's-
bullshit book. You got fucking Sideshow Bob's
Sideshow
fucking
Bob, that's
bullshit.
right. They're all
bullshit
lining up.
book.
Whoever can write a book quick enough.
Oh my God! And I'm moving to be independent.
Yeah.
Are you
like,
shitting me?
like she's independent. Like there's anything independent. Like
Did you listen to the statement that she put out?
No.
So she put out as if anyone gives a shit.
No, I don't care what she said.
But I saw part of it, and she talked about the brave and courageous move she's making to become independent. And here's what she said, Andrew. She said, if you support the community that I'm a member of, if you believe in the things that I believe in, then I will be there standing by your side.
What?
She was offering comfort to those who would dare to leave the Democrat Party and join her in her independence.
What?
And she reassured people that she would be there to support them.
Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable.
Here we go.
It's not
You dumb fucks can't comprehend that because I'm not a mega moron, I must be a huge Biden
You
fan.
were a Biden supporter, were you not? No one said you had to be a huge Biden fan. I mean, I'm sorry. Let me ask you a question. I can't remember November. Wait.
Since he 513 distancing himself from Joe Biden.
Maybe
now?
he's an independent too. Maybe he's a Jean Pierre.
I wonder when his book's going to come out.
I don't know if he could write. But my question is, so remind me, we just had an election this last November. How many choices were there for president? I forget. And were there two? So it wasn't Biden, but by default it was Kamala.
It's called a binary choice.
Camel toe.
It was
Camel toe.
Kamala Lydia. Say that again.
Camelidia.
Camelidia.
So it was Camelidia and Donald Trump. So I'm not saying that you had to be and let me say this.
I'm laughing myself.
In retort to your imbecilic statement just then, sometimes it's better to just remain silent so people think you're smart. But here's the deal. Is everybody that voted for Trump a MAGA guy? I mean, we've been here just saying how in the beginning of the show we were, upset about the tiff between him and Musk, and we didn't think it was smart to be doing that publicly. I mean, we're being, fairly objective about our disdain for that event. But we're supposed to be, if we were MAGA people, I think we wouldn't be sitting there saying Musk is bad and Trump is right and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. We didn't say that at all. So, I mean, do you listen to what we say, or you just have your talking points on your little whatever cheat sheet that you write there to make these comments? Or you're probably doing voice to text because I don't think you can type that fast. But the simple fact of the matter is, you had one of two choices. Yes, it's the world's not black and white. It's all gray. No, when you get in the voting booth, it's pretty much black and white. You have liberal Democrats on one side, and you have quasi-conservative Republicans on the other side on the ballot. Now you can have some independents, or maybe you wrote in to vote. I don't know. Maybe you voted for who was there? Who was the? Well, there was a libertarian, wasn't there?
I forget who the libertarian was,
I
but
mean,
there was a communist candidate too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you voted for
you
that.
voted for
And
communist.
so so maybe you did that, and you felt great because you walked out of that voting booth. You said, "I'm a man of principle," and you took your vote. You might as well have taken your ballot, crumpled it up, and thrown it away because that's a chance that you have. See, I mean, it's just your statements are just they don't make any sense.
All right, so let me pull this. You guys are older than I am.
Not much.
Not much.
A lot.
Mentally
Actually, a
only.
lot.
Just
You're
mentally
actually a
older.
lot older. But no, so I want to throw this out there. So we went through the whole George Floyd, Derek Chauvin
Summer of Love.
yeah, that summer of love.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that there was a potential that Trump was going to pardon Chauvin.
I heard it being discussed. I don't know
But-
how real that was.
Right. Now, I don't know how, I don't think it was very real at all. But one of the officers that was there on the scene
Yes.
did prison time,
Yes.
And-
Served his sentence.
served his sentence.
Yes.
I want to play this video.
He was not pardoned. He was released, right? He served his sentence.
and
He
released.
was released. It was I don't remember
He
the
is
role he played. He was
free,
there.
He was a free human being.
Paid his debt.
So I want to play this video, and I want to get your guys' opinion.
Here we go.
I've seen this.
Make sure the audio's on.
What's your name?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
It is you. So you're out of prison,
Yes.
and you're comfortably shopping in Cup Foods, as if you didn't do anything.
I wouldn't call it comfortably. I'd just say getting necessities or helping.
I don't think you should have that right. I don't even think you should be out on bail.
I can understand.
I mean, how does it feel?
It's not on bail,
Sorry
stupid.
to feel that way.
No, you're not sorry. Like, you're literally outside here comfortably as if you didn't kill that man.
Jesus.
Did you think that people weren't going to recognize you?
Didn't he die of fentanyl?
He had a
Honestly,
lethal
did you?
dose of fentanyl.
Didn't he die of
You don't
fentanyl?
have the right to be here.
That's not proven.
No,
You
his
killed somebody
toxicology
in cold blood.
reports
You
were
do
in.
not have the right to
Didn't
be
he have a
here.
lot of fentanyl in
It's
his
not
system?
proven. It's not proven.
No, we don't want
I'm
you to get
asking
your
the amount of
stuff.
fentanyl he had in
We
his
want you to be locked up. You're honestly in Cup Foods, comfortably shopping.
The
Out
blood
of
test was
prison.
not
Really
right.
shopping.
I don't understand that.
Like, do you feel any remorse for what you did? Do you? This is the officer who was let out of jail today for shooting George Floyd.
He let out of jail because he
Or,
served
I'm sorry,
his
suffocating
sentence.
him. You're not going to be able to comfortably go around Minnesota like this.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, I would move.
I'm going to stop it there.
Okay.
But
She goes on.
These are the fucking people
Yeah.
that fucking Cincy 513
Yes.
aligns with.
Yes.
Fuck you and fuck that bitch.
Aren't these the same people?
He is
Jason?
allowed to fucking
He served his
traverse-
sentence.
He
Served his time?
sentence.
Served his sentence.
The
He
entire
wasn't-
sentence, right?
She wasn't released on bail. She's
Yeah.
not bright. She doesn't know the law.
Did you did you ever see his picture on the news?
Only at trial.
Probably not.
No, only at the trial.
Well,
The only thing you saw was Chauvin
kneeling on
George
Yeah,
Floyd.
Yeah.
I mean, the upstanding individual that he was.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he beat up his pregnant fucking girlfriend and
Did drugs,
and
was a
whatever.
drug dealer, blah blah blah, and
Now-
had a lot of drugs in his system. Now you say,
Did he hold
cop-
a gun to her belly? Did
Yes,
he do that?
yes.
But this
it's not-
cop,
it's not
this
a person.
cop,
it's not a person. What's in the belly? It's not a person.
this cop had he was there. He was on the scene.
He was on the scene.
So gets wrapped up in it.
Yes.
And I tell all my people that I work with, make sure you write your run report right, because we're all going to court if something bad happens.
Yeah.
Like it's not just your run, it's our run.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
So I'm like, make sure you write it and document everything as much as you can. This poor fucker was just there.
Was there.
He's not Derek Chauvin.
No.
He's not the other guy, the Asian guy that they got locked up. I can't remember his
I
name.
don't remember their names.
But I saw two that were don't try to do it that way with the camera. I'm going this way. But there, I mean,
How many fingers?
there were two like main faces that you saw. I don't remember his face at all, but he was there, right? So he got locked
Might
up.
have been clean shaven back then.
But he did his time.
Right. Paid his debt.
This dumb fucking cunt.
Well,
I'm going to say it. This dumb cunt. He's allowed to go grocery shopping after he gets out of prison.
Correct.
He's allowed.
He's allowed to have freedom.
Shut your fucking mouth.
No, but here's the deal. They're crazy in Minnesota. They elect people like their governor,
Tampon Tim,
Timmy Walsh, as governor. So now you know, it circles back. Which actually we just completed the circle to she is an imbecile, and she's accosting this guy who has paid his debt, got out of prison, is going to buy some freaking Oreos, and this liberal is losing her mind.
She's losing her shit
because he doesn't have, according to her, because she's judge, jury, and a liberal, unable to control her emotions. He's now unable. He has no right to go out. What does she know about rights?
But the thing
because
is,
the rights come from her.
How many other criminals or convicted felons or lawbreakers or illegal immigrants or illegal aliens?
Yes.
She probably would support all kinds.
They have rights
of miscreants.
Oh my
like
God!
That. Yes.
Oh my God!
Yes, that's right.
You want Doritos? I'll go buy you.
I'll
Doritos.
go buy you the Doritos.
Yeah,
because you were wrongly convicted. You were wrongly accused.
You want to take my daughter to prom? Sure. No, come on, man. Here's my address.
That's right.
You could sleep. You could sleep in the guest room.
8647. Dumbass.
Oh,
lane.
I was driving. Wait. It's funny you mentioned. I'm driving today. I swear to God.
You see an 8647?
I'm driving down 75 today, and there's a car driving really slow. Finally, they get over. What do I notice in their back window? A sticker, 8647, quintessential. Some middle-aged, pleasantly plump female driving her Lesbaru down the road. Lesbaru driving down the road, and I mean, I was now. What you know? What I looked, I chuckled, and I went on. You know what I didn't do? I didn't flip her off. I didn't drive aggressively. I just passed her and said, "You know what? That's probably not a bright sticker to be putting on your car."
You should have
Did you point to your thing on the side of your car?
I was gonna say,
look, a Tesla. I'm driving a Tesla.
I just slowed down enough that she could see my "Trump is your daddy" sticker on the back of my car, and then I continued on. But I mean, this 86. We have one locally. I mean, one locally posted it on her site. I think we talked about it. Kathy Stemmer. She posted 8647 on her Facebook page.
Yeah.
Idiot. And I hope she got the knock on the door. The later the better. By some guys wearing dark sunglasses at night.
I think we got two more. Do you want to hit this one or
two more and I'm out of here?
Two more and we're out of here. Do you want to hit this one?
This gal and
this is
here's
annoying.
the thing though about this is one of the real girls that got beat by this dude came out and talked about, oh yeah, we love him, and her
in a race, not beat, not beat.
We support him, all this, and I couldn't believe this girl was going on and on and on.
Where was this?
In California.
Oh,
you want me to play it?
Go ahead. Let's hear what.
There might be an ad. There might be an ad because
if there's an ad, kill it.
Yeah, let's go. KRC Channel 3.
I love helping people.
Just
make
we'll
a
go through
difference,
that.
make an impact, working with children, working with families.
We can skip it right
now. To a KCRA3 exclusive for the first time, we're hearing from A.B. Hernandez, the transgender high school track and field athlete who was protested last week at the CIF Championship.
See a little ball sack right there hanging.
She won 2 gold medals. KCRA3 Sarah McGrew spoke with Hernandez in an interview you'll see only on KCRA3.
Tight short.
A.B. Hernandez has been competing in track and field and volleyball here at Yoruba Valley High School in Riverside since her freshman year. It wasn't until this year, her junior year, that people started protesting her participation because she's transgender. But the 16-year-old says she just laughs off all the hate.
It's definitely crazy. I mean, I get a lot of hate comments, but I'm like, I don't care. Like 16-year-old girl with a mad attitude, you think I'm gonna care?
When A.B. Hernandez was outed as a transgender by the president of the Yoruba Valley Unified School Board, the district she's a student in, she had no idea what to expect next.
Wait a second. I kind of just tried to fly under the radar because trans athletes get a lot of hate.
But soon
protesters were showing because you're taking a spot of a girl that deserves to be there.
High jump and long jump for 3 years.
They picked the right kid for us, the wrong kid for them, because like they said, we will not back down.
Protests followed her through the season.
This is it's not fair.
Last weekend.
It's just weird at this point. I mean, they followed me for a whole season, so.
While the few dozen protesters were contained to outside the stadium gates, what AB found inside of Veterans Memorial Stadium
was love.
in Clovis was a lot of support.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
I
that's
mean,
so
the support
nice.
was just
You know what?
intense. I mean, I wasn't expecting any of it, to be honest. I was expecting to just go out there and compete alone.
Yeah.
They really made my experience perfect, so I would be like forever grateful for them.
Her biggest supporter was watching from the stands. Her mom.
Oh,
AB came out to her mom.
so
and
proud of
prayed,
her.
and while it was something her
Oh my
mom was
God.
surprised by.
Yeah, you're out.
Here's the deal.
You're out.
You know what? If the leftists had that many protesters at any event, you know what they'd be doing? They'd be saying, look at this huge crowd that showed up to protest the immigration policies. But you see how they do those. You see how they do those. We'll talk about the FJB. Yeah, I think advocating for killing might be worth it. Just fuck. You know, I mean, I don't know. You do the moral clarity on that one, genius. But here's the deal. The left skews the stories the way they want to. A few dozen protesters outside, a paltry group of protesters outside, but found love inside. But if it was against Trump, look at this massive support of hate against Trump's policies here in
Well,
in
yeah, that
Sacramento.
would be the leads. That would be the
Frickin'
lead of
brain.
the story. Is that you've got all these demonstrators out there doing their thing.
Bosco wants to know what 8647. 86 is a term for shit can. It also could mean, get rid of, extinguish.
Yeah. Your 80 sections
Throwing something
86
away.
is something off the menu.
So 47, he's the 47th president. So that's what 8647 stands for.
Now,
So if you see
I don't
that-
agree. I don't agree with what I heard. Like, oh, that's assassination.
It-
Well, no,
it-
it's
it-
not.
it-
It's just get rid of.
Well, my point
It's
is,
just get rid of.
in a climate where you've had 2 assassination attempts documented that we know, and you have nut jobs out there, and you say, and you have people that are supporting and promoting this idea of 8647, there's no clarity. You could say impeach 47. All right. You could say that,
Well,
but you
it-
say
it-
8647 doesn't take much for some nut job to say, you know what? I'm doing the right thing. He's Hitler. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to assassinate him.
It's not
I'm
like
doing the Lord's
someone
work.
like Pappas who puts everything on social media, is walking
not
down the
true.
beach and says, "Look at these interesting.
Look at these shells.
formations."
Look at these shell
And
formations.
I think that's
Yeah.
really cool. They
That's
just
right.
they
Look at
just
that.
naturally fell like that.
I
And-
didn't know
but
that happens.
Look at what I found.
But no,
on
this
my
is
walk.
the former head of the FBI.
Yes.
And if he doesn't have the intellect to be able to connect the dots between what that could possibly mean,
And the
then
fa-
there's no way in hell he should have ever been the head of the FBI.
And
And
his
he should have never been in proximity to the president of the United
And
States.
let me ask you a
He's got-
question.
he's
really
got a
quick.
following.
Hey, is shutting down a freeway, is that considered the 101? Like they don't.
Is that what they're doing in
They just
LA now?
in LA right now.
Shutting
They're-
down the freeway.
They shut down the 101. Now, how's traffic in LA this time? of
Oh,
year?
Dude, when you live in Los Angeles, they do traffic reports 24 hours a day.
And now they
because
shut down
the
the
traffic
freeway.
is so fucked there.
I'll tell you right now, where are the fire trucks to just blast them out of the way? And people are, I can't believe that's non-lethal. You have no.
You know what
right
I
to
saw?
block
It's
traffic.
non-lethal, but
I saw video.
It's straight 1960s.
I saw
Well, but
video.
is that well, how would you clear a freeway?
I saw a video in
Tear
Japan.
gas? I mean,
What they
tear
do,
gas,
what they
same
do
thing.
in Japan when they have
I saw
a
that.
situation like this.
They
It's a
died.
cop
They,
issue.
they died. The
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
Indelible dye,
And
and they
then,
spray everyone,
and then they arrest them. Later.
and then you can go find them later
I think
because
that's the
this
greatest.
shit's not washing off.
That is the greatest thing.
And guess what? You got that dye on you. You were there.
That's right.
You're getting arrested.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
That's a great idea.
As we close this out, because we're a little long, but
Mommy,
our friend Joe Billy.
Stacy's mom has got it going on. I think of this song when I see this.
It's not a teacher, and Joe goes, "It's not a teacher, but still gross."
That's still a great song.
I was like, "Yes, I love
Who does that song? Do you know?
it." Shit.
That's a good song, though.
Somebody in the chat's will fucking.
Stacy's mom has got it
Yes,
going on. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, that's Stacy. I think.
You familiar with that song? Pappas?
Yes.
Mother receives sentence for multiple
Not-
sexual encounters with
Whoopsie.
son's 13-year-old friend.
13.
Sickness.
Not even a
13.
teacher.
Sickness.
She's just a mom. She's just a mom. You want to go hang out?
I'm not sure.
Have a sleepover.
I'm not sure I could have satisfied your average mom when I was 13 years old.
Who's your average
You
mom?
barely satisfy yourself.
I mean,
Out of Rockwall, Texas.
What does that mean? You satisfy? What are you
saying.
raising them? You disappointed
I don't
yourself.
know. I don't know
at
if I had
13.
what.
Are you
I don't know
saying?
if I had what it took when
You
I was
didn't know
13.
what you had at 13.
That's what I'm saying.
What is that?
A mother was found guilty of making
Mom,
sexual
This is
contact.
called being honest.
I
all right?
broke
I'm
it.
being
I think it's
Shut
broken.
the fuck up. Neither
Maybe
one of
that's
you,
what you
neither
did.
one of you two had the fucking gonads to do it.
13-year-old Dan Carroll.
A mother
We're
was
interrupting
found
his shtick.
guilty of making sexual contact with a 13-year-old friend
13-year-old
of
ruined
her
his life.
son.
Ruined his life.
Has been sentenced to 5 years of prison.
That's it.
Real estate agent Natalie Sorellis, 44, had multiple instances of inappropriate contact with the child since April
Sick.
of 23.
I'm sorry, that's sick.
According to forensic interview.
Like, was she doing it in houses that they just put on the market? Hey, I know where there's an empty house. Come on, young fella.
That's just
We're,
gross. That's just that's
I'll
just
pay you $10 to cut.
We're not due for the open house until
That's
another
right.
hour.
That's right.
So I know it's only going to take you 7 seconds, but it's fine. It gives me time to clean up.
You want to put some signs in the yard? Come on, buddy.
In the interview, the 13-year-old described 2 incidents where Sorrells touched him inappropriately. In the arrest affidavit, KDFF reported he also described having sexual contact with Sorrells in a car after she picked him up from a football game. And another time at a party at Sorrell's son.
I hope that in prison she gets the mental help that she needs, because that's got to be some sort of serious mental illness.
That if she had not become a real estate agent, she was going to become a priest at St. Timothy's Church.
Oh,
I need the record. I need the record
well
to show.
played. I like that. Very well played.
I need the record to show that I did not grab that.
Oh,
that was set by
set
none
me.
other
Not by me.
Joe Billy.
than Joe Billy 007, which she's
Has
looking
she been,
at.
has she been to St. Timothy's Church?
She's looking now. She has never. But she's looking out for the podcast. And
Thanks,
and
Jill.
send us content.
Thanks, Jill.
Hey, are you guys available on Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool.
There you go.
Then we will
possible.
We'll be back.
Joe Billy, we really.
possible.
By the way, a belated happy birthday to Joe Billy.
Yes, Joe Billy.
There you go.
Now
Her birthday was yesterday.
Spry
and nothing-
29 years
and-
old.
and nothing gives you pleasure like making us 3 guys a sandwich upstairs.
She actually didn't even say anything about it. I was waiting. I was waiting for it.
She's gonna come in here and just. There's gonna be a knife attack.
You're
in here.
hungry after a long drive. You know?
That's right. I sit on the road all day.
It's gonna be awesome.
How about a sandwich?
It's gonna be awesome when she's just starts fucking shooting rounds.
But I drove past that piece of shit
That
church.
hole in the door?
And they got the the
they
big
have a-
pride sign
yeah,
out there.
yeah,
They
yeah.
got there's kids walking
I
around.
don't understand it.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it was one of the sickest things I ever seen.
I will be honest with you. That church, I usually don't like even mentioning their name because I don't want to bring notoriety to them. But the things that they promote at that church, I question.
Doesn't seem very religious to me.
Doesn't seem very. I don't know. I'm not gonna. You know what? I just don't like. I don't like the politics.
Maybe they'll
of
start
that
calling
church.
it St. Timothy's Mosque.
It is
I
a.
mean,
It is an
mosque.
interesting. Their nonstop billboard, the LED sign out there just just makes me giggle because
White guilt. on
white
all-
guilt.
Yeah, you got to respect
we're the
your
problem. Blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. They know best. They're the real Christians.
Put your
Now,
hijab on.
Is that Episcopal? Yeah, I think it's Episcopal.
I don't know what it is, but
I guess.
how do they react to Muslims who want to put women in chains and sell them at auction?
I don't know.
They good with all that kind of shit?
I don't
We're
think
supposed to
there's-
respect that.
I don't think there was a lot of Muslims at their Pride Festival.
Well, they say we're supposed to welcome all our neighbors, no matter who they are.
They probably wouldn't welcome those folks there.
Well, guess what?
Well, I don't know.
We will revisit this.
They welcome
Tuesday
Tuesday.
around 5-ish.
Tuesday,
We'll figure it out, but
All right.
Tuesday definitely, but 5-ish.
Tuesday, I'd like to talk a little bit, if we can put on the menu.
Thanks for watching.
About the poor guy downtown.
Yes,
Got murdered.
absolutely.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll have more information on that.
Hopefully, we will.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't have a bunch. So
No, well, anyway. So thanks for being here.
Love you guys.
Hit the like.
Hey,
hit the share.
Like, subscribe,
Hammer that like, subscribe.
download.
Buy the paraphernalia.
If you're listening, once I upload this to the audio,
We're on our way to 1 million subscribers.
yes, we're almost
We
there.
we were
Help us cross
almost
that number.
almost there. Very close. Very, very close.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Let's go.
Out.